Hey everyone, Piano Man Chuck here. I am here today with the Balsang B6, and what this is this is a DSLR bi-directional microphone. So what you do is once it's on your DSLR camera, basically there's a front-facing shotgun microphone and a rear-facing one. So this is really cool because now, unlike your conventional microphones that go onto your DSLR cameras that only give you the front, this gives you the front and the rear. So now you can do interviews and things like that where you have front and rear. In other words, you've got the person you're interviewing in front of you and you asking questions behind you. This is so cool for like conventions and interviews and everything else. Now, this is a lot more than just a front-rear microphone. Now, let me just point out something that this is built for DSLR cameras, and there is a reason for that. You can use it with other things too, but you need to be aware of one thing. Most shotgun microphones are condenser microphones. This is no exception. Now, condenser microphones always require power. This is designed to operate on plug-in power. Plug-in power is the power you get when you plug this into your DSLR camera. And nowhere in the literature or the advertisements or anything does it say that it requires plug-in power. So if you were to go and use this with something that does not provide plug-in power, you're not going to be able to use it. Plug-in power is provided by just about every DSLR camera. If you're going to use this with a computer and plug this into the computer mic input, that will also provide plug-in power. If you're going to use this with a phone, with one of your smartphones, that will also provide plug-in power. But if you're going to use this with a mixer or a PA or anything like that, a professional recorder, it's not going to work. All right, so that's the major difference here. The advantage of using this with a DSLR camera is as long as your camera is working, so will this, because it uses the power from your camera. You don't have to worry about batteries or anything like that. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. There is 3 microphones here. There is a front-facing microphone, a rear-facing microphone, and there's a microphone in the middle as well. That middle microphone is an omnidirectional microphone, whereas the front and rear are cardioid-type microphones. And they don't specify whether it's supercardioid or hypercardioid or anything like that. Just, they don't even say that it's cardioid. But the fact that it requires power and it's shotgun, it has to be a cardioid microphone. Now it has these built-in windscreens, and if you take these off, you can see more of what these look like. So you've got the front, and you've got the side, and you've got the rear. Now it also has 5 different recording modes here. You can record from the front only, or from the rear only, or both, which is bi-directional. So you have a front and a rear. Great for an interview where you want separate left and right channels. You can also record from the front and also activate that mid omnidirectional microphone so that you have the front and pretty much all the ambient noise that's happening in the room. Or you can activate all 3 microphones at the same time so that you get everything that's going on in the room. So let me tell you with everything that it comes with. First of all, it comes with this really nice tripod stand, and you can extend the legs. Okay, and of course this screws on. And of course, you can put this on the stand so you can separate the mic from the DSLR camera. Your camera might be facing whatever it needs to record, but this is going to be placed more optimally for sound away from the camera. And that is really cool because if you got the camera 30 feet away, you're going to want the sound happening a lot closer, right? So this is one way to hook it up like that, and it does come with a nice 3-meter cable here to go from this microphone to the camera. 3 meters is approximately 9 feet. It also comes with 2 coiled cables. One of them has tip ring sleeve on one end and the same on the other end. That is probably the best configuration to go from the microphone as it sits on your camera to your camera's mic input. All right. The other one is a tip ring sleeve to a tip ring sleeve, which means one end goes to your camera and the other end goes to your smartphone. Works really well. So, besides coming with this 9-foot or 3-meter cable and the 2 coiled cables here and this tripod stand, which is really cool. You can also use it as a handheld thing here. It also comes with a phone holder. So let's unscrew this right now. And we're going to put the phone holder over here. Okay. We're going to put the phone here. And at the top of this stand, there's another cold shoe mount. So the cold shoe mount on this can just go right in. Okay. And you have the cable, tip ring sleeve to tip ring sleeve to the smartphone. So this works really cool. And this tripod mount has this adjustable head. So you can tilt this backwards, forwards, however you want. Okay. Very cool. Very well thought out. And the fact that it comes with all this stuff is just gravy. There's switches on both sides of this. And it can be a little bit confusing because it's not exactly the way the switches say. They work in combination with the 2 different coiled connectors. So here's how that works. On one side, there's a switch that's labeled ANC and ASMR. Next to that, that is the 1/8 inch output so that you can hook your cable up from here to your phone. But this switch setting needs a little bit of explanation. The ANC, which is an auto noise cancellation, basically is the same thing as a high pass filter or a low cut switch. So, without specifically naming that, they've named it ANC, but it serves the same function. So if you want to cut out ambient noise like air conditioning, cars going by, things like that, you would put it in ANC mode. Now the other one, the ASMR, which is basically autonomous sensory meridian response. Now, all that means is they've activated the side microphone, which is an omnidirectional microphone. So that's what that means. In other words, it's going to pick up everything around in addition to the front and rear. So if you don't want that, you're going to go to ANC mode. You don't have any other choice, just those 2. And I would highly recommend, even on any microphone you're using, you automatically turn on the high pass filter or low cut, or in this case, ANC or auto noise reduction. Now here's the thing with the other side. All right, so you have switches here for left, off, and mix for each channel or for each mic. Now, the rear microphone is also R rear right. They're using the rear microphone for the right channel and the front microphone for the left channel. Each one has their own switch here. It's a triple position switch. It can be set for right in the case of the rear, right, off, and mix. And on the front, left, off, and mix. Now here's the deal. When you have each on left and right, you're recording separately the right and left or front and back microphones to the camera. All right? And of course, if you put it in the off position, that whatever mic switch that goes to, that mic will be off. Now, here's the clincher. If you put it in mix mode, this is not going to work with the standard TRRS cable at each end. You have to go with the TRRRS cable on the microphone, and the other end can go to your camera. So when you have it in mix mode, you need that cable. And when you have it in the separate left and right modes, you need the other cable. I know it's a little bit confusing, but now that you know this, that's going to make it much easier for you. Now also, on the box here, they say for instructions or video instructions that you should go online right here to balsangcorp.com/25, and that will give you a video manual and very limited English. If you want more, go to the same address, but instead of /25, change that to /26, and that is going to make all the differences. Much better translation for English. But watch the videos because that, explains things much more clear. And also about the cable and switch configurations I was talking about, that is listed right here. For left-right mode, you use a certain cable, the TRRS, and when you want mix mode, you have to use the TRRS into the mic and the other end into your recording device. So that being said, let's go ahead and set this up. And while I'm doing this, I just wanted to point out, this should hit the market soon. The reason I have early access to this is I was an early supporter on KickStarter. So I thought this had a lot of promise to it, and it turns out it does. It's really nice. I believe the price is going to be around $150 US. And it's really nice. There's really not much like this in particular, but there are a couple of other microphones that I reviewed. One in particular is the Comica Trax Shoot, and that's something you'll want to check. I'll put the link in the description. And if you're just going to use front-facing stereo, this would be the mic to use. This is the Asden SMX30V. I also reviewed this. We'll put a link in the description for that. In the meanwhile, I'm going to set this up to record on the Zoom H6 handy recorder. And like I said, you need something that's going to provide plug-in power for this to work. For those of you that have a Zoom recorder, these XY mics over here also have on the side an 1/8 inch input here for something like this, so that when you plug it in, it's going to override these two microphones and it's only going to pick up whatever this is plugged into. In this case, I'm going to plug it into this mic over here and going to go into the setting that says plug-in power. And we're going to turn plug-in power on. That way, it's going to work. Test 1, 2, and we can see it working right there. Now, what I want to do is, we can see that the front microphone is working right now, and if we turn it around, we can see that the rear microphone is working. So it is working, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a glass of ice, and I'm going to pour some soda into it, because that's really a nice way of seeing how this microphone quality is. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back with a glass of ice here, and we're going to turn the recorder on, and we're going to get some soda, and we are going to record this to see what it sounds like. Pretty good. So basically, for $150 US, this microphone actually is pretty good, especially for interviewing, and I think that's the main purpose of this, and you can use it for a lot of other things. Now, in summary, there's pros and cons, always, with any product. So, the cons on this is the instructions are very poor. They don't even tell you that it needs plug-in power. So if you were to use this with like a video camera, not a DSLR, most video cameras don't provide plug-in power. The English is very poor, but if you go to their, again, if we go over here to this channel right here, balsangcorp.com/26, not 25, 26, and watch the videos. That will help immensely. You'll understand more about what's going on that way. Now, on the other con side, there are no gain or volume controls here. You can't adjust that here. Your only form of adjustment is at the camera. So you're going to have to adjust the volume levels at your camera. And again, the cabling and switch configurations is confusing at best. But if you go ahead and rewatch that portion of this video or watch their videos, it should be a little bit clearer. Now, on the positive side, because this uses plug-in power, as long as your DSLR is working, so is the mic, because you don't have any batteries plugged into this that are going to run out before your camera runs out of juice. So that's the plus side. Again, $150 US. That's the expected price. About half the price of the Asden SMX30V. And this is for a completely different purpose, but just to use this as a comparison, because they're both DSLR mics. Overall, I would definitely recommend this because it definitely does the job it's supposed to do. If you're going to be interviewing somebody front and rear, them in the front, you in the rear, it's going to pick up everything. This will actually do the job that should have been done a long time ago. But this makes my job as an interviewer so much easier. So that pretty much sums it up. Overall, yes, I would recommend this. I will actually even be using this when I attend next year's NAMM show, which has like 120,000 attendees. And I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the presenters. And this is going to come in so handy because it's just right there on top of my DSLR. I don't have to do anything different because I'm going to pick them up in the front and I'm going to pick me up in the rear. And I am done. That is so cool. So I hope this has helped you out. Piano Man Chuck, peace out. Thanks for watching.